Welcome to the Big 12 Women's Basketball Preview Show. I'm Ron Thulin. Over the next half hour, we'll bring you team-by-team, in-depth analysis as the road to Oklahoma City gets underway. Last year's champion, West Virginia, they returned the bulk of the team that won the Big 12 championship. Even though the Mountaineers are currently dealing with an injury to preseason All-Big 12 member Tynice Martin, players like Shania Ray and Tiana Muldrow are ready to lead this team back to the Big 12 title.
The most exciting thing for me is just that we're a quicker team, like a more up and down team. We've always been pretty quick, but I just love the fact that everybody has a good mentality. They're coachable, like they listen, we all listen to each other, we respect each other, and it's really exciting to have players like that around you because it just makes you just really anxious for every game coming up, and you know, I'm just really excited to play with this group of girls.
We have some great leaders on this basketball team. You know, it's just a shame that these injuries, because we don't have a lot in right now because we don't have a lot of people practicing, and I have to make it real simple. But hey, we have some great players. We have some great leaders on this basketball team. They're going to play hard, and they're going to demand the younger players to play hard. The younger players don't know how to play hard right now and don't understand anything. So, you know, that's what's great about having veterans and some great leaders.
I feel like teams are going to look at me more to score and they're probably going to sink in on me on defense. So just being aggressive, looking to hit my open teammates, I know they're going to crowd in on me. So just looking to find the shooters. We have people like Katrina, Hardy, and Shania Ray who can hit threes and just hit mid-range shots. So I'm looking to kick the ball to them.
My teammates always tell me that they kind of generate off me as a point guard because I'm always just going, and they really feed off of that. So I think just, you know, keeping up that energy and just knowing that makes my team go. It makes me really maintain my defense throughout the whole game, makes me be up the lane, makes me get those steals, and then offensively just pushing the ball because I know I have scorers. I know I have people running up the court. So just pushing the ball and, you know, hitting the right person at the right time. It's just really exciting to play, and just knowing that my teammates really look for me to bring that energy every game.
I think our returning players got better, which is always critical. And, you know, we just got to establish that 5 position and the 4 position and then get people back on the floor, and we should be ready to compete.
Another team with experience, Oklahoma. They will look for graduate Maddie Manning and senior Gabby Ortiz to lead a Sooner squad that lacks depth, but is sure to make some noise come tournament time.
You know, every season is like its own lifetime, and regardless, if you have the same players back from one year to the next, it's its own unique lifetime because people change and grow. This year's team right now, everybody's in the boat. Everybody's sitting squarely in the boat. Nobody's hanging their legs out or their arms out. Everybody's in the boat, and everybody's holding on to an oar. That gives you a chance. It doesn't promise you anything, but it gives you a chance. It's like the price of admission, okay? You get in the door now, what are you going to do with it?
I think our small knit bond, you know, everyone's going to say, oh, we only have 9 players, and that's the kind of running joke to say. But I think our chemistry has just, you know, skyrocketed. You know, you never realize it. You know, I've been on a team of 15 3 years prior, and so when it gets knocked down, you can it's just a different feel in a good way. And so I just like being able to be at a heightened level with everyone on the team.
6 years is a long time to be in college, and all my friends have gone, and part of me was ready to do something else. Even if it is basketball, do it in a little different way and be a professional about it. But at the same time, this team, the seniors now, it's a class I started my career with, so I felt like you know, playing with them one last time on the court and, you know, finishing our story better than what we found it in those years that we all played together was bigger than me going on and doing something else for a year.
I think Maddie is a great story. I think she's a great story for Oklahoma women's basketball. I think she's a great story for women's basketball in general, because here's a kid who loves this game so much that not only is she willing to come back from 1 injury, but she's willing to come back from 2, and they happened on the heels of each other, 700 consecutive days without playing basketball, and to still remain passionate and not become resentful, and to continue to try to grow and learn and improve, I think she's a great story. I mean, I don't know if I could have done that, and so I admire her perseverance, and I respect her passion for the game, and she's talented. So what does it mean for our team? The kid can really play basketball. She can really score. I think she's more comfortable in her own skin as a basketball player right now than I've ever seen her. She's sort of refining those rough edges that sometimes got her off on a path that she couldn't recover from in the middle of games. And she's grown up a lot, you know. When you spend 6 years at a place, I hope you do.
The Iowa State Cyclones have a ton of new faces in the program. But after getting a taste of the NCAA tournament, juniors Bridget Carlton and Meredith Burkhall have their eyes set on a return to postseason play.
I think it's always important when your players get to see what the postseason is about. As coaches, we talk about it all the time. On my practice card, you'll see Selection Monday, March 12, 2018. That's what we do, why we do it. So I think for them to get there and see the excitement and all that goes into it was a great thing, and I think the returning players now understand the work that it takes, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
I think last year was huge. That was my first trip to the NCAA tournament, so that was exciting, especially like me and Mare, that was our first trip, and now that we're kind of the experienced ones, so we want to have the freshmen and the sophomores kind of follow suit, and we'll just do whatever we can to get there again. Yeah, we're excited and we're hungry for it. Like you said, we want to do whatever we can. We're working hard in practice, and hopefully that translates.
Yeah, my teammates encourage me, and I know being a junior now, I have a lot bigger role to step up in, and I played 2 years, so I'm gonna have more experience in the team than all the new ones that are now on the team. So just being in that leadership role and communicating with my teammates, that's kind of what I do best, is really encouraging my teammates through good and bad. So just continue to do that and do all the little things to be able to play.
The chemistry of our team is better than it's been in a decade, and that might be the biggest bonus. Doesn't show up on paper on a stat sheet, but I think over 6 months, hopefully that will show up, because I do feel that this team has a unique camaraderie that we haven't had here in a long time, and that's a tribute to them, and because we do have young and old, so it's been a good group so far.
I would say this year we're just pushing each other a lot more, because we know we have a lot of potential, and if we just do what we can do in practice and listen to coach, we know we can make it really far.
I'm excited just to see kind of where we can go. I mean, the sky's the limit for this team. We're young, we're full of energy. It's fun to watch us play, so just kind of see where we can go, see what we can do. That's the most exciting for sure.
After the break, we'll head down to Austin, Texas, where the Horns are locked and loaded again this year. Stay with us on the Big 12 Women's Basketball Preview Show. Welcome back to the Big 12 Showcase Women's Basketball Preview Show. I'm Ron Thulin. Karen Aston's in her 6th year at the University of Texas. This year she has a veteran backcourt. They're ready to make a run at the Big 12 title.
I think the biggest thing that I see right now is our leadership is really good. When you look at the 3 seniors that we have, and then the fact that we have some older players that have quite a bit of playing experience, then you start to check your leadership first and foremost, and that has really jumped out at me from day one, from off season. Just even starting back in the summer or even in the spring after season was over, I started to see that come to the forefront pretty quick with our senior class.
If you come to our practices, we notice that it's way more than we did last year as far as the competitive aspect. We go at each other every day, and we've kind of gotten better every practice just because it's so hard to go against each other every day and stuff like that. And so I think just that part, and just kind of focusing more and kind of just not trying to look forward and staying in the moment.
I think it's really important for just the personnel that we have and the team that we have is to really focus on the present and not think about anything that's to come. Like even today, we need to focus on practice today. We don't need to think about anything that's coming up. Just take it day by day. I want to be the best teammate that anybody's ever had. I think it's one of the things that a lot of people take for granted, being a great teammate. So that's definitely something that I want my teammates to remember me by, and the hardest worker in the gym. Because I think if you're the hardest worker in the gym, there's not a lot of people that can beat you out.
Ariel is special. And there's just not another word for it. There are not many players that you run across that have all of the qualities that Ariel has. She's always checking on someone. She's always organizing the team. She's always in the gym. So for her to set the tone for our team, it's almost like they don't have a choice but to listen, because she's so prominent with her behavior. It's so constant, it's so consistent, and Ariel is just one of those players that walks the walk.
The Oklahoma State Cowgirls are considered by many to be a sleeper team in the Big 12 this year. OSU will rely on transfer guard Lauren Goodwin to run the point. And with the return of the dangerous front court of Mandy Coleman and preseason All-Big 12 member Kaylee Jensen, the Cowgirls feel they have the right formula to get back into the NCAA tournament.
I think what's exciting about it is we return 3 experienced starters in Kaylee Jensen, Mandy Coleman, and Carly Wheeler. And then we've added some pieces through recruiting that are going to help our situation at the guard spot. We didn't shoot it very well from the perimeter last year, and we've added depth, we've added better guard play, we're experienced in key spots. I think what's really neat about this group is the chemistry is very good, the unity's good, they like each other on and off the floor, and I think that's conducive to winning basketball games.
I feel as though if we have that as a true point guard, I want to be doubled so I can do my job more efficiently, which helps the team do their job more efficiently. So I'm excited to see how teams are going to react when they can't all just converge on me. They have to actually play straight up.
She'll be better by playing with better guards. Post players are subject to how good the guards you play. Somebody's got to throw you the basketball, and it's a matter of getting it to the right hand, the right time, and I think she's going to flourish with better guard play. She needs to improve at getting to the free throw line a little bit more and finishing at the free throw line. And always a big factor for Kaylee is her shape and the minutes that she'll be allowed to play.
I've never played with a big or any bigs that big or that skilled and that good. It's kind of like you're coming off a screen and they know exactly what to do. You don't have to tell them what to do. They kind of have a high basketball IQ, and that is just like has always been like a dream of mine to have someone that big. It's really a dream to be here and to play with these girls. All of them are so talented, tall, big. I mean, I've had to change a lot of my game, doing a lot of jump passes. I mean, there are long arms everywhere and everyone's big, but I think I'm getting better and I'm able to learn a lot from these girls as well.
The Kansas Jayhawks look to continue to improve in Brandon Schneider's 3rd year as KU brings back the sharp shooting ability of Kylie Kopatich.
Well, number one, I think they really care about each other. You know, I see a group that has a lot of fun together. Off the court, on the court, they appear to really enjoy each other, and I think we have a group that'll play for one another. I do think that they understand that whatever it is we're going to achieve, we have to do it together. Whether it's in an offensive possession, a defensive possession, you know, we're going to have to be great communicators, and we're going to have to strive to win that possession with everybody doing their job.
One thing that I think is special about this team, again, is the chemistry. And I'll keep saying it over and over again, like our chemistry is great, and I think that's just going to translate to how our season's going to go.
Since like our seniors and myself and like Chelsea, we know what Coach Brandon wants. We've been here the longest with him, and I think it's our job to like show and tell our newcomers like what he expects and what we expect as a team and what our goals should be and how we should accomplish them.
You know, Kylie's been, I think she started every game, you know, of her college career, and she's just been really steady for us. But I think the real bright spot for her is she's continued to get better. You know, I think a lot of people would see her as a three-point shooter. She's tried to add other things to her game and be more versatile. And I'm really proud of the progress that she's made on the defensive end. She's become a much better defender. Shay's really only played one spot since she's been here with us. We're going to have to play her at multiple positions. I trust her, most specifically on the defensive end. I think there's things in practice where she could probably run the drill because, you know, she's been here, she's gotten so many reps. You know, she's just really in tune and got a high IQ.
I think since I've gotten here, I've grown a ton. I've gotten out of my comfort zone a ton. You know, I've tried to do whatever I can for the betterment of the team.
TCU has one of the youngest teams in the Big 12 as the Horned Frogs return 8 underclassmen. For Reagan Peebley, the leadership of Jordan Moore and Amy Okonkwo will be crucial for the young Frogs to have success.
With this group of freshmen, now sophomores, they really showed a bit of that counterculture. They showed that they came to TCU for a reason and their job's not done, and they want to keep getting better and they want to grow this program. We recruited them with a similar message to what they experienced, and I think there was no surprises in that. So that's been one of the greatest things about watching this group mature and grow.
It's uncommon, but I think it's really special. We're all going through this journey together, so it just gives us extra shoulders to lean on whenever we need someone.
Jordan Moore is so important. You know, when Jordan's in the game, and she is incredibly impactful on both ends of the floor. She creates points, she prevents points, she rebounds for us. She's very efficient with her minutes played. We just need to extend those minutes into longer and see that endurance really build up for her.
I feel like it was kind of my responsibility to be a role model for like incoming freshmen, anybody transferring and things like that. Like you said, I was thrown into the fire, like just naturally like went along with it and had to play through everything and just go with the flow. I would say lead by example. Like right now, we're just doing a lot of like getting back into like basketball, like conditioning wise and everything. So vocals sometimes, just like when we're kind of at like a downhill like moment in practice and stuff like that, like I just try to talk more and be more vocal to everybody.
I can really see Jordan continuing to grow. It's been fun to watch her just mature as a person, but also as a player. And I think she's really starting to believe that she's as good as we knew that she was going to be. It'll be a little bit of point guard by committee, and you know, in a fairly positionless system, that's okay. You can have that. It's going to be real important that we're creating some tempo with our defense, but Kiana can play that position for us. Amber can play that position. We've been really impressed with freshman Lauren Hurd as well and what she's been able to do for us in that position.
We'll take a break, but when we return, we'll take a look at the number 3 team in the country, the Lady Bears of Baylor, and see what Kim Mulkey has cooking up down in Waco. Welcome back. The 2018 Women's Basketball Tournament will be played at the Chesapeake Arena in Oklahoma City. Visit Big12Sports.com to secure your seat at the Chesapeake Arena today. Baylor enters the season as the number 3 team in the country, and Kim Mulkey and company are hoping they can get to the Final Four this season, led by preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, Kalani Brown.
It's a totally new team, so you can't take the ending to last year's season and carry it over to this year with but 5 players who were even on that team. So we're a team that is totally different. We have not as much depth. We have 4 freshmen, and then we have players who played last year, but they're still young. You've got 3 sophomores, and then you've got 2 seniors, and you've got an All-American in Kalani Brown. So we've got a mixture of all of it. I think team chemistry is something that I've witnessed with this team, and I don't know if that's because their personalities mesh or it's because we have only 10 on the team, but they're pleasant to be around, and they encourage each other, and they hold each other accountable. And I just think those little things are usually the difference between success and failure. And I'm looking forward to coaching them this year and to see how far we can go.
I think just good leadership is going to help us get through. We need to stick together. Our motto is Rise as One this year, and we really want to stick to that and be a really good team and just work for each other and stick together, especially through hard times. So I think if we do that, we're gonna do well.
I thought the summer between Kalani's freshman and sophomore year is when she really took off, and then you saw her rewarded last year as an All-American. And we need Kalani to not become satisfied or content. We need her to stay hungry. And she needs to do that for herself, but for our team, and then she can be another good leader for us because she's going to have to play a lot of minutes. We had the depth last year to give her a rest. We're not going to have that this year, so she's got to stay healthy and she's got to play a lot of extended minutes.
I think that offense
is going to come. We're a defensive team. You kind of don't have a choice in that when you're playing for a defensive coach. But I think that team chemistry is going to be the biggest asset here. Everyone has to be for everyone. Everyone has to contribute in a way. There's only 10 of us, but at the same time, that's not such a bad thing, you know.
Texas Tech is in their 5th year under head coach Candy Whitaker, and with Rasay Caldwell running the point, the Lady Raiders will look to build off last year's win in the Big 12 tournament.
I liked the way we ended our season, you know, towards the end of Big 12 play, and then into the conference tournament. I thought we battled. We played well against TCU and battled Baylor, who's obviously very, very talented and deep last year. And so it was just, you know, building on that. You know, I think anytime you're not in a postseason, you have a bad taste in your mouth. So you're, you know, fighting every day to become a better program, develop your players in every way. And our kids, I think, took that personal. And I saw a lot of them really commit to the gym in the off season and elevate their game. And in turn, it's elevated our team.
Our mindset heading into off-season was just to build on the improvements that we had seen towards the end of conference. We started changing how we played. We played harder, with more passion, with more heart. And it's unfortunate that we didn't do that at the beginning of conference like we know we should have, but we were young and we had a lot of new people that had never been through a Big 12 full conference tournament before, and we just wanted to build on that going to off-season. So we've attacked all of our workouts and pretty much had the same mindset in every one of our workouts that we need to grow and build for this year.
Our team chemistry is a lot more close-knit, and I just think that this team, we have such good accountability and such good commitment towards each other. I think that's really going to make a big difference.
I do think we've gotten better every single year, and we continue to climb that mountain. And I think once you do turn, right, everything opens up for you in a lot of ways. And so it's just continuing to fight every day to get it turned, to get into that top half, to get to the NCAA tournament, to give ourselves a chance to compete in that postseason. And I think we're getting there.
Our final team of the women's basketball preview is Kansas State. Jeff Mitty's Wildcats are a young team this year that are focused on ramping up the scoring to go with that traditionally tough defense.
I don't think the goals or expectations change. I mean, you come in here, we were a postseason team. We expect to be a postseason team again. All right, we expect to be an NCAA tournament team, not just a postseason team, okay? Now, how do we do that? Well, we keep getting better every day. What may have been a big win last year might be a 10-point win instead of a 25, 30-point win. But it still needs to be a win, and we still need to find our identity as a team. That would be my concern right now, is with young teams, they tend to not know who they are. And it's our job as coaches is to talk to them about where they can play well at, what can their identity be to play well, and how do we stay out of the plays that are unsuccessful for us.
A lot of it is just focusing on the little things of we're going to work hard every day. We're not going to have any wasted possessions. We're not going to come in here and just mess around. We're here for a reason. We're working hard for a reason. And they know that we've made it to the postseason. We've gotten an NCAA tournament the last 2 years, and so they already understand that, okay, well, they've been doing this, so that's probably what they expect of us now as well. And so it's more so just making sure they understand the day-to-day stuff of we're going to come in here and we're going to grind every single day. You don't really get days off.
I've seen such growth even from the beginning of preseason to now, getting into actual practices and game situations with our practice squad. Seen leaps and bounds from those young ones, and it's just something that we're all kind of we're on ground zero since we were all changing to a new type of play, which I think was very beneficial for the newcomers. They don't feel like they're behind on anything because all of us upperclassmen are learning the exact same things they are.
We hope you enjoy the preview of this year's upcoming Big 12 women's basketball. And once again, it all comes to an end in Oklahoma City at the Chesapeake Arena, March 2nd through the 5th with the postseason tournament. And you can get tickets by visiting Big12Sports.com. I'm Ron Thulin. Enjoy this year's season.